Hey friends, welcome back to the Life of a Makeup Artist podcast. We are here with the doll himself, Sean Garrette. He is a esthetician and a skincare expert for Dior.
Yes.
How are you, Sean? How's life?
Good.
Tell me everything. How are
Life
you?
is good. I'm going through like a little transformation.
What does that mean?
I'm kind of getting back to like my roots, like as far as my career. So I'm doing facials again. I'm looking for like a new suite, a new space because I really miss it.
Is there a wait list? I need to be on that. I need to go to the
As soon as I
wait
get
list.
my space, like I have everything I need. I think I found like a really cool space in the city. But me and my assistant have been like figuring out everything. We're gonna do like a summer pop-up. Working on one in LA. We're gonna do one in Atlanta.
What sparked this?
I think because I'm kind of like exhausted from social media, and I kind of just miss getting back to like my skincare roots. And I feel like I made like a little detour in my career, and so now I'm just like I want to get back to me. I feel like I was doing
what brought you here in the first place,
like brought me here in the first place. I feel like I was getting a little sidetracked, and my energy was getting interrupted by like industry stuff.
Right.
And now I just want to get back to doing what I do, helping people, back to education, and really focusing on skincare.
Right. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the first place. So you had a very interesting beginning. You moved to Atlanta, then you moved to New York, but there's a lot of things that happen in between. Yeah. So like, tell us a little bit about that.
So when I first got out of high school, I thought I was going to work in fashion. Like that's what I wanted to do.
Well, I mean,
love fashion.
I would believe you.
Thank you. But that's what I really was obsessed with. So I used to like study designers. I thought I wanted to be a stylist. I was always like very creative.
Did you go to school for it too?
So I did go to school, and the school was just too expensive, and I just couldn't afford to stay there.
Right.
And so it kind of caused me to go back home and kind of rethink some things. And I really just kind of came back home, kind of licked my wounds, and kind of tried to figure out what I wanted to do. I tried school again, and I was like, this is just not my vibe.
What was your family like? What was your family thinking though? Like, well, they're probably like, make up your mind.
Yeah,
they put pressure on you sometimes.
My family is like about hustlers, but my mom is like an academic. So my mom has like 3 degrees. She's been in school since like before I was born, and she's very smart. She's a therapist, and she has like so many other areas that she's skilled in. And so school was always her thing. But I kind of always knew that school wasn't really for me. I was never an academic. The only thing I was ever good in was like English, writing, creative classes.
Same.
Like I love to speak. I love to read. Like if we had to like read in front of the class, I was the first one. I just always knew I wanted like something bigger than what I was seeing in my community and my neighborhood, and kind of like what my family was doing, because they're all hard workers, but have always lived and stayed in Baltimore.
Right.
And so I wanted to do something different. I just felt like school was just not that avenue for me, because I just was not an academic person.
Was your mom, what was her response? Like being a therapist, I'm sure she had like a evolved and very mature response. But did you feel any pressure from your parents?
I did. And I probably felt pressure up until like 2020. Like honestly, like until I was like almost 30. Yeah.
What are you doing?
Because honestly, until like I started working for Rihanna, my mother did not believe anything I was doing.
Wow.
Like, honestly, she just didn't. She just thought it was like I was just doing something on the internet, which I think a lot of people think.
They just don't understand it.
They don't really understand it. And I come from like a very like black ass family. And so like if they can't,
they don't understand it, and they don't see the money. Yeah.
And my mom, she always convinced me like, oh, you should just be a nurse. Like
I was literally about to say doctor, lawyer.
Yeah. She was like, you should be a nurse. You get in the medical field. And I was like, I'm gonna get into something like that, because when I was younger, I did want to be a plastic surgeon. Like that was like the first thing I wanted to do.
I mean, you kind of are now in a different way.
I am in a different way, but I think fashion and the plastic surgery kind of thing was really just like my obsession with like transformation, like people being able to find certain tools and things to make themselves more beautiful. Because when I was younger, I felt like the ugliest child because like I was like heavier and I was chubby and I was like this little chubby gay kid. And my family always told me like how beautiful I was. Like
Right.
I never not felt beautiful at home. But it was always like, you know, mean, evil ass middle schoolers. Right. But I kind of just was always obsessed with transformation. And I feel like it's kind of led me into my career now.
Right.
And at first it led me into fashion. And now I kind of ended up back to where I've always loved, which is beauty. I've always been obsessed with beauty.
But wait, how did Atlanta treat you? Because you left Atlanta, you ran away from Atlanta and you were like, I gotta go. And you came to New York. So what happened in Atlanta for you to be like, I'm out?
I have a love-hate relationship with Atlanta because I love Atlanta, honestly. And like, I love the people there. It honestly is like my second home. But I think when I first moved there is when I went to college. And that was an experience. I was actually, before I was doing anything, like I was doing makeup for strippers in my dorm room.
I did not know that.
Yes.
So you could be my face then.
I could. But yeah, so that's how I like was like hustling, like making money. Like I knew a bunch of like gorgeous girls who I went to school with. They danced at night to pay for school. Our school was expensive. It was like probably like $35,000 a year.
Wow.
So it was really expensive. And that's how I kind of like tapped into like my makeup, skincare obsession. But when I left Atlanta, I went to Baltimore. And then the second time I moved to Atlanta, it wasn't my choice. My whole family decided to move. And I wasn't like in a financial position to stay in Baltimore by myself. And so I was forced to move.
Like, I do not approve.
I did not approve. I was forced to move. And doing that was 2014. And that was kind of like the rise of the beauty influencer.
Right.
And so I was seeing people like, obviously, Jackie Aina, but also like Patrick Starr and Manny MUA and like these beauty boys.
Right.
And I was like, that's so cool. Like, they can just get on camera and like do makeup and stuff like that. And at the time, I was in Atlanta working at Ulta. So I was surrounded by beauty all the time.
Wow. Okay.
All the time. And so that's when I was like, okay, this is my career. Like, this is what I want to do. So I used to take all my extra money saved up. I would buy makeup, practice on. I would lock myself in my room, practice on
myself. I miss those days, you know? Like when you had that one product, you save up for that one product. I'm like
that was like the height of like the Lorac Neutrals palette, the Kylie Jenner, like mauve lip. I remember when I worked at Ulta, Calvin Klein had CK1 Beauty, which like a lot of people don't remember.
Yes.
You know, I think Hung Van Gogh was like the beauty director, like the creative director at that time. But it was like it was an interesting journey, but I started to figure out like what I wanted. And I kind of missed that era of my life sometimes. Because I just feel like I was so resourceful and creative and like inspired.
Right.
I feel like that's what I'm trying to get back to currently.
Yeah. Sometimes you realize how much you made happen with less.
No, literally. It's like, thinking back, I'm like, I don't know how I survived so much stuff. Like, I really was a hustler, and I still am. And I feel like that's why I'm kind of tapping back into my esthetician roots again.
Right.
Just kind of rebuilding my skincare business because I missed that.
Yeah.
I think it kind of got taken away from me a little bit because of the pandemic.
So talking about the pandemic, you know, you decided, listen, I'm a beauty boy and I'm doing this. And all of a sudden, ring, ring, it's Fenty Skin. So tell us, like, how was it working with Fenty Skin, especially with a brand during its inception?
I think, okay, so like when I got the job at Fenty, it was a very odd time because I was like on the rise of like social media influencers, and it was just becoming a thing, especially with skincare. And I had moved to New York with maybe like $2,000 and like $1,000 of that went to my rent.
Right.
And then everything else I had saved up went to my business because I was had like a spa suite there. I was seeing clients. And I was kind of stressed because we were in the height of the pandemic. This was like March, April when they contacted me. And so my spa had closed down. I was doing virtual consults for like clients globally. And I was having fun in my room. I was creating content. You know, I was just like chilling. And then I got this email from Fenty and they were like, oh, we want to reach out to you about a partnership thing. And I was like, okay, finally Fenty Beauty is noticing me.
Right.
And I got on the call and it was like, actually, this is for Fenty Skin. And they were like, we were searching for like our new beauty ambassador and we want you to like audition. So I had to actually audition for the job. I had to audition for the job for Rihanna and the team.
They know they wanted you. I'm like...
she wanted the job. Because actually what a lot of people don't know is when I got approached for Fenty Skin, at the time, Rihanna had 2 ambassadors for Fenty Beauty, which was Hector and Priscilla. Yep. But obviously Priscilla was like the main ambassador. So
I actually was part of that.
Really? The search?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I was going to go to that.
Yeah, they flew us, the top 10 out to LA. It was like a whole thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I remember my cousin, they had auditions in DC.
Mm-hmm. It was like a whole,
it was like a worldwide search.
Yeah, I wish they did like a little
American
TV show.
Idol. They should have did Finding the Next Fenty Star. But my cousin wanted me to go. And I was like, girl, I'm not skilled enough for that.
Right.
Like, I can't
It
do
was
that.
intense.
Yeah, she was like working for, she was a Mac artist at the time.
Yeah.
I was doing shit in my kitchen.
Right.
Like, the most client I had was like my mother.
Right.
So I was like, no. But when I had lived in LA for like a short amount of time, I wrote in my manifestation journal.
I love this. You're like, I lived in Baltimore. I lived in Atlanta twice. But no, that's great that you're able to just pick up yourself and say, you know what, I'm going to dust myself off and try again. And the words of Aaliyah, rest in peace. Because it's like sometimes you're so confined to a space or a place where you feel like you can't move. Mm-hmm. And I realize you said, no, honey.
No, I gotta make urge to keep it moving.
Right.
Like, because I honestly was on a journey to find myself. And I swear, after I went to esthetician school, I feel like that was God really leading me on my path, because after esthetician school, everything fell into place.
Right.
And so like my content was picking up, and then through my content, I was picking up clients at the spa I was working at. Mm-hmm. And so fast forward to Fenty, I was really like grinding. And I was really the only Black boy that was really doing content like that.
Right.
And it really kind of caught their attention. So they originally wanted 2 ambassadors. They wanted me and another girl. Mm-hmm. Anybody who worked with Rihanna knows she's very picky and she's all about energy, and they could not find anybody else. So I became the only ambassador.
Wow.
And I went through like this whole mock interview. Like I had to like mock media interview. They asked me questions, like try to trick me up with the president of Fenty companies, Jen, who used to be Rihanna's assistant. And now she kind of runs like all the beauty companies. Yeah. And so she's very intimidating.
Yes.
And so
super nice though.
Super nice.
Yeah.
So I had to like interview for her, and then I had to do like this thing for Rihanna, and then finally around like July or like June, they picked me.
That's crazy.
They were like, you're actually the only one. Rihanna didn't like anyone else.
Thanks.
And to this day, I'm the last ambassador that they had. They haven't had another global ambassador since I left. So.
Yeah, I'm good.
I
love that. No, I mean, and listen, rightfully so. You worked hard for that. You know what I mean?
And that was an intense job.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was built for like something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I was making 8 to 10 pieces of content a month.
That's crazy.
On top of like I was trying to sneak in other partnerships, to make sure I was making money. Right. But then also I was still seeing virtual clients a little. And then I was also trying to keep up my own organic content that I wanted to create. And it was a lot that was a part of that job that a lot of people didn't see that I did.
Behind the scenes.
Like consulting on product development, marketing campaigns, who we should reach out to for PR and different influencers we should work with. I was a lot.
Right.
I mean, I did like a Sephora shareholder meeting in my bed during pandemic for Fenty Beauty, like a full demo.
Damn.
Like in a blazer, in my boxers, a laptop
they
on
would
top
never
of a
know.
box.
Who's gonna know? So you walked at Fenty, so you could now run at Dior.
Dior, yes.
Tell us about Dior.
The Dior thing kind of came at the perfect time, because I decided to leave Fenty because I just wasn't happy with like some of the background things that was going on. And I just felt like I wanted to do more. And when you work for huge brands, you are a little stifled because you're working under their lens.
Right.
And so there's a lot of things that you just have to be like aware of, or you have to make content a certain way, you have to speak a certain way. And I just kind of just wanted to be me.
Yeah.
Because I had got that job so early on in my career, I really hadn't got to really explore all the things I wanted to.
Still figuring yourself out.
Still figuring myself out. And so I ended up leaving Fenty, and then I kind of spent the rest of that year, I think it was 2021, really just hustling. And so like I was working for a bunch of other brands. Like I was working with Amore Pacific, Verse, Essie, love them.
That
Polish
is
Choice.
so expensive. But it's so good.
So good. And then I launched my, I was the first ambassador to do like a collab with Polish Choice. So I had my own Polish Choice kit, my texture and tone kit. And then after that, like things didn't really slow down. I was really busy. I'm not gonna let this like destroy me or like, you know, change my career, trajectory. And so I was just like, I was a little bit was nervous. I feel like if you grow up like, you know, with not like the most things, like, you know, like I watched my mom like hustle and like, you know, work hard. But I feel like when you come from like where I come from, you always feel like something can be snatched from you.
Right. There's this fear because you're like, I thought I have the thing that I thought I wanted, but now it's like, I don't want it. So it's
almost
just like
survivor's like guilt or like remorse or like also just like afraid of like being broke again.
Yeah.
Because with Fenty, you know, I had like a cute little salary, but also I live in New York City. So I was like, okay, I don't have my spa anymore. I left this job where I had like a reliable check. So what am I going to do next?
Right.
And Dior kind of came around the end of 2021. And since then, it's been like a completely different kind of career for me.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just love this for you. You have no idea.
Oh,
like, I'm so happy for you. Okay, so, you know, what's one of the biggest lessons that you have learned working with brands as a creator and ambassador? Because there's a lot of creators or artists who listen to the podcast that might be stepping into different roles. And of course, you know, you've partnered not just on like campaigns, but like collaborations, like your kit with Paula's Choice and now with Dior. So like, what would be one of those lessons that you would share? Like one of those biggest lessons that you would share over the years?
I would say when it comes to working as a creator with brands, to definitely have your own voice and your own aesthetic and your own style. Because I've never been someone that has like viral content or had the most followers, but I've built a strong community because when people see my videos, they automatically know it's me. Right. They see a certain aesthetic, a certain style. And so when I started creating content, I knew I wanted to do high quality content that was beautiful, aesthetic, but also educational. And so creating that reliable kind of format helped me build a lot of brand relationships. And brands knew, okay, if we want the message to get across what this product is in an educational way, but also in a beautiful way, then we can go to Sean. And I think it's the same with Dior. With Dior, I think they really approached me because, again, of the voice that I have in my industry. You know, I'm not some creator that has like millions of followers, but again, I built a community and a reliable community.
Well, and we all know millions of followers.
It doesn't always equate to sales.
Exactly.
And literally, when I just did a masterclass with Dior, it's the first masterclass they've ever done in New York for skincare. And we held it at Nordstrom, which is like one of our like flagship retailers. And I had the counter managers coming up like, people come to the counter with your videos asking for your entire routine. And when we did the master class, this one woman, after Chef, she spent like $6,000 at the master class. So it's like, it translates to numbers. And it's why I've been an ambassador for as long as I have. I mean, I'm going on 3 years at Dior, which is not, you know, a small feat.
Right.
And, you know, I've been now at LVMH since 2020, working with brands. So it's been an incredible experience, but also a big learning lesson for me, like on how to, one, check my own ego, how to collaborate, how to work with the team, because I always work for myself. You know, at the spa, I work for myself. Doing content, I work for myself. So now having this massive global team, I have to learn how to collaborate.
Right.
And to still bring myself to the table, but also make that work with the brand that I'm working with as well.
Right. So how do you approach partnerships? Like there are so many brands that claim to embrace diversity and embody inclusivity, and that's not always the case. And not necessarily, with Dior, but obviously like you're blowing up, you're the doll, like everybody wants to be part of, but how do you approach like what makes you work with a brand versus not working with them?
It's really all about like gut instinct for me. Like before Topicals even had a product, I was working with Alameda, and we became friends online, and she used to just pay me to do like Twitter threads. And it was just refreshing to kind of see like a young Black woman kind of create this clinical skincare line. And so before I tested any product, I was helping her build her educational platform with Topicals. And then when she released product, it is like a natural thing to continue to work with them. So I've worked with them and have been an official ambassador for them for about like 3 years now. But it's really all about gut instinct. Like if I feel like it's a right fit for me, if like it's a right fit for my audience, if I believe in the message and the ethos of the brand, I'm very picky. Like I'm very, very picky about who I work with. And for me, I made it a specific choice to aim for more luxury jobs because you don't see a lot of Black people and Black estheticians in luxury beauty positions, especially Black men.
Right.
And so that was my goal. So for me to be like the first Black male skincare ambassador at Dior, like that's a big, big deal for me.
On a serious note, it's just like you do feel, even as a makeup artist, like you have to work 10 times harder to get into the same room.
Absolutely.
Because then, I mean, when I do go out, we would see each other and then like maybe a couple, but we always see the same people in the same room. And like, that's why I'm like, can I have a +1? Can I have a +1? Because like, I'm going to bring somebody with me.
Even when I went to Dior, like I made it a mission to start recommending girls that I knew. Girls that I felt like aligned with the brand and that also I knew created good content. And so I brought some of my good friends that are creators and Black girls that now have, contracts with Dior and do content and things like that. And that's a big thing for me. I think anybody who's ever worked with me can like emphatically say that I always give back to my community. Like if I don't want to do something, I used to always give a list of other people, including beauty boys that they could work with. If I turned down a job, I would say, I think this is better for this person.
Right.
So that's important for me to kind of reach back and give people. Because even though I'm at kind of like a comfortable place in my career, I'm still like hungry and I'm still, thirsty for more.
Right.
I love to work. It's still so much I want to accomplish.
Right.
But I also don't want to be like the only one forever.
Right. So in the beginning of the episode, you said that you were a little bit drained by social media. Like what's happening there?
I just think the way that we're quantifying content is just getting a little bit draining. Like when I first started on social media, I used to post maybe once a week. And I'd go back and look at those numbers and I'm like, I was getting thousands and thousands and thousands of likes.
Right.
I was writing, that's when, you would do like a flat lay or like a little photo and write the whole 6-paragraph caption of like a review. And those are like the golden years. And obviously social media has to evolve. Right. I feel like the way it's evolved has made people feel less than on social media.
Yeah.
And feel like they aren't doing enough. And I think that's almost the goal for a lot of these algorithms is to make the content creator feel like they aren't doing enough, so they create more.
Right.
And then they give you like a rush of endorphins when, they let one video do really well. So
right.
Like, okay, this format does well, so let me keep doing it. And then it falls
You become
flat.
a machine.
You become a machine. And until I think last month was the first real vacation I ever have taken since I started my career. So in about 7 years of doing content and being an esthetician was the first time I took an actual break. And it's probably the longest I haven't posted content. And it's probably been about maybe 8 days since I've like posted or created anything. And I forced myself to make a video this morning because I was like, I don't want to because honestly, I'm like, I could just go on.
Right.
Shit. But I was like, I do miss making content, but it's like just the algorithms and the constant feeling less than. You put all your heart, work and energy, especially for me. You know, I film everything on my professional camera, edit it, make sure everything is beautifully shot and lit. And it,
then you're like, damn, it's
triple
not
brick. It's like, damn, you know, it's
not
like
triple brick.
Can I at least hit gold?
Right.
You know, like it's like at this point in my career, it's like I shouldn't be like, you know, excited when a post finally hits, you know, 2,000 likes. Right. It's like that should be the gold norm. Standard for
right. Yeah.
And it's like it's constantly fighting and going against, you know, being seen on platforms. And then it's the other things that you have to deal with outside of that in real life, you know, seeing other people go to events. Like I was talking to my manager and I was like, you know, so many things happened for, you know, Met Gala with beauty activations and Meta and TikTok, and I wasn't invited to anything.
I mean, same.
And I never am.
Same.
You know, never am. And it's insulting.
Right.
It really is.
Now that you are, you know, at Dior, you know, you're getting back into doing your own thing. Is that kind of like what's pushing you? Like, you know, social media, it's like, you know what, let me get back to my actual career and what I love doing. Because I feel like sometimes, even with me, like, I'm a pro makeup artist and I love doing both because sometimes when the content ain't content and I'm like, listen, I'm gonna go on, I'm like, I'm gonna go on set, I'm gonna do this shoot and I'm gonna be done, you know? So like, is that where it's just like, are you just trying to like tap back into 2013 Sean?
I think it is that, but I think it's also me just missing like in real life things. Like I miss doing things in person. I miss connecting with people. When I did my Dior master class like a couple weeks ago, it really just reminded me how much I love educating people and how I like being in a room and feeling people's energy and having them, you know, ask me questions in real time and then give me, you know, issues they're having with their skin and me having a solution for them. And then them coming back and saying, oh my God, thank you for telling me that this helped solve, you know, my acne or my hyperpigmentation. Like I just miss doing real life things, having reliable money, and also having my own identity. Everything I do is for a different brand, and I don't have my own brand. So
do you want one?
I don't know. I actually was thinking about that today. I was like reading this Women's Wear Daily article on Fleur, the fragrance, and Chriselle, like she's a friend of mine, and I'm super excited to see how her brand has grown. And I'm like, I want a $70 million brand, like.
Or like a Naturium that sells for like $1 zillion.
$100 million brand. And I've had conversations with Ben from the center like a while ago about starting my own brand, but I didn't feel like I was ready. And I still don't really feel like I'm ready now. It's like other things I just want to accomplish. And
but I mean, it's going to take a couple years, so you might as well get started.
It is. You know, I talk to Jara all the time from Ami Collet. You know, we talk about me having a brand, and she literally sent me a message the other day and was like, you need to get on it. Yeah. Like, we need to start working on this.
Sometimes
like,
you need people to see it for you before you see it for yourself.
You do. And like, I have the whole brand written out. I know like the first 4 products. I know.
Really?
Yes. Like have the ingredient profile.
Tell me after the pot. Okay, so tell me some products that you're excited about right now. Like something that's impressed you. Doesn't have to be new.
Yeah. Things I'm loving. I'm really loving this moisturizer from the brand Medicate. They're a really good brand. It's called the Total Moisture Cream. It's like lightweight, but it's rich. They make really good moisturizers. Also love their Retinol. My friend Semadar has this brand called Of Other Worlds.
Oh, I didn't know.
She has this serum called the Light Beams Barrier Treatment. And it's like a hydrating serum that has like azelaic acid and other great antioxidants. It like plumps your skin, hydrates it. Incredible product. I'm loving the Road Cleanser and the glazing milk.
Oh, the glazing milk, yes.
Those are like my 2 favorite products.
But I do use my Laneige cream skin toner.
I do too. I used that this morning.
Yeah, that's my baby. But what about some brands that you feel like everybody loves that you just cannot get into?
Drunk Elephant. Everyone knows I'm not like the biggest Drunk Elephant fan. I'm really not. And this has been like a long-standing dislike.
Is it why?
It's like when I was coming up like in the industry, they weren't really like the most like receptive to me and weren't very nice for one. and just like some personal feelings I have about the brand and how it's formulated and all of that stuff. And then also, I'm not into like fear mongering people with skincare.
Right.
When people are like, no silicones, no this, no that.
Right.
It's like, let's be educational, not scaring people from
Right.
things. And so it's just not a brand that I'm like directly obsessed with, but I know people who use it and who love it, and good for them.
Love that for you.
Love that for them. But again, I'm the beauty tastemaker.
Right.
So if I say it's good, it's good. If I say it's bad, it's probably not that great. What else? I don't know. Honestly, I'm loving a lot of things right now. And I'm kind of also loving like makeup again. Like just like color cosmetics.
Tell me what you love.
Loving Danessa Myrick.
I mean,
the best blushes.
That yummy skin tint.
The yummy skin tint. The Amicole foundation stick. I'm wearing it today.
You were at my masterclass.
Yeah, I was at the masterclass.
So cute. So honestly, much fun.
The best complexion product that I own. It's so good.
Good.
Summer Friday skin tint is like one of my favorite things.
It's beautiful.
Whenever I used to like do male grooming, I would always use that on my male clients. It just looks like skin.
Right.
It sets really well. Westman Atelier. I love me some Westman Atelier. They have this thing called, I think the Activating Serum Primer.
Oh, really? I haven't tried it yet.
It's $150. It like makes your skin like glass. It's insane. It's so, so, so good.
Have you tried the...
I'm not allowed to use so.
We will strike that from the podcast.
But I have tried the new Dior Star Filter, the Forever Glow, which I love. And the Dior Forever Glow Maximizers. Actually,
I mean, all the Dior.
I do love all the Dior. It's like some things I don't gravitate towards, but actually one of the products that we've had for a while, but I've never used it until I did a little video on it, is the Capture Total Foundation. So it's a serum foundation that has our Longoza extract from the Capture Total serum. One of the best foundations.
Really?
Like, I mean, makes your skin look flawless. Yeah. It's not like our... Kind of like, it's like our client secret.
Yeah,
like
I think that's like the Estee Lauder Renutriv. Like, it's kind of like, it's a little more expensive, kind of like low key, but it's like really nice.
That's how that one is.
Okay, so social media, tells us that you are the doll. What do you deem doll skin? Like, where did this derive?
So I created doll skin from, honestly, myself.
Look at the material, honey.
Like, honestly, like the doll has always been like a part of me. Like my family used to always call me like a little baby doll.
Right.
And I used to be obsessed with dolls when I was young that my mom hated. But then it's kind of like derived from my own skin.
Right.
Because I used to, so I had pretty good skin all my life. And then when I got into like my early 20s, I started having like crazy hormonal breakouts. And I went through like a whole process of destroying my skin, repairing it, destroying it, repairing it, until I found this formula to really help nourish my skin barrier, clear my acne, and give me like just glass doll skin. So that's the key about having doll skin. It's really not about the product, it's about the ingredient and the routine. So really you can use any product.
I mean, everybody's skin is different.
Yeah.
Well, I want to know what your skin loves.
So I'm really all about skin barrier. So that's really what the doll skin thing is all about. It's about having a healthy skin barrier. So you can have acne and have hyperpigmentation and texture and still have dull skin, because you can have acne skin and still have radiant, healthy skin. Acne doesn't mean that your skin is bad or that it's unhealthy. It just means that you have this certain skin condition that you have to work on and maintain. So I love like hydrating ingredients like beta-glucan, glycerin, hyaluronic acid, ceramides, natural moisturizing factors, everything. I love a peptide.
Okay.
And peptides are so diverse because some help with anti-aging, some help with
Isn't a lot of lip products too, like lip balms that I love.
A lot of those are usually like the plumping and hydrating peptides. But I love peptides that also can help with like anti-inflammatory issues, and then also hyperpigmentation, because I'm always balancing an act between treating hyperpigmentation but also managing acne.
Right.
So it's a balancing act you have to do.
So speaking about hyperpigmentation, what are some SPFs that you love? Do you use mineral or Like, what do you?
There have only been 2 mineral sunscreens that I genuinely like. One of them is from Rose Inc. I forget the name, but it's like a serum foundation. Not serum foundation. It's like a serum sunscreen. Comes like a little dropper. I hate the applicator, but it's a great sunscreen. And the Summer Fridays Mineral Milk, I think it's called. Yeah. Those are like the 2 best minerals I've tried. But even though I like those, I still don't gravitate towards them because I just don't like the feeling of mineral sunscreen.
Right.
I haven't found one that is formulated in like an elegant way that.
Have you tried Audacity?
No, I haven't tried it.
Yeah, they have like a tinted one that's really nice, and it goes
I
like.
I hate tinted sunscreens.
It's tinted.
I hate tinted sunscreens because.
But it's not tinted in a gray way.
Yeah,
it's one that's actually tinted. Because most people like tinted, and we're like,
yeah.
I'm like, donate immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think honestly, Supergoop just released one that is really good.
Oh, yes.
And I do like that one, but I think if you're going to use a tinted sunscreen, you have to use like a traditional sunscreen first and then the tinted, because you can't put enough of the tint on to truly protect your skin.
Okay.
But it's a good option to reinforce your skin protection with your sunscreen. And then also, I don't know. Like the tint, it usually like, it's just like, it's not my vibe. Like, I don't know, like it's not. Because I really
hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk.
I hate the way you walk, you talk, the way you apply. Like, I don't really like foundation, which is why I love the Amicole stick so much, because it just feels like nothing on the skin. But I just don't like foundation. So I don't like having that. Like if I touch my face, I might get onto like, something and like, then you have to set it. I feel like you have to do like a whole makeup routine to make it work.
What are you wearing today?
Sunscreen.
Just sunscreen.
So sunscreen, I'm doing the Jo Sun. It's like a Korean sunscreen. Yeah. Love that one. Amicole stick, like a little Fenty cream blush, and that's it.
So I want to know what you think about these viral skincare products and moments.
Yeah,
Snail mucin.
I love snail mucin.
Okay.
I think it's like an odd texture, but it's really hydrating. It works as a humectant. Some people have like anti-inflammatory benefits from it. I think it's good.
Glow Recipe.
Not for me.
Okay. Slugging.
Also not for me.
Laneige.
Love Laneige. I mean, the cream skin line is like my favorite.
Yeah.
I love everything. Even their new like Hydro Bank or Water Bank, they have like an exfoliating essence I really want to try. But I really like I like Laneige a lot actually.
Same. Yeah. I love the glowy lip balm too.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
The lip balm is really good. Better than the mask.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like the lip balm.
There's a new mango and blueberry one that I'm like obsessed.
I used to love the gummy bear one.
Oh, the gummy bear. Yeah. I know. The pink lemonade. I mean, all of them, honestly. Yeah. Okay, so what are you looking forward to? Like, I know you are getting into your bag and you're going to get into your, your Sean era again. Yes. But what else are you looking forward to?
I'm really looking forward to... meeting a really rich man and never posting on the internet again. Like I'm dying for that day, honestly.
Well, I mean, that's so. I mean, would you just want one or?
I want as many that can support me as possible. You know what's funny though? I truly do mean that. Like, I really
have you had a sugar daddy before?
I have when I was really young. He did. He had like a white Rolls Royce, but he wore leopard shoes. Bothered me.
He what?
He wore like leopard shoes. It just bothered me.
But that wasn't you got what you needed, right?
To a point.
How did you? So what happened to him? You can't just recruit
I think
an OG.
He's dead. Honestly, I think he died. No, I'm joking. He's not dead. You know what? That's a good story. It's a really good story. But basically...
No, I want to know. We want to know.
So I was like... It was when I moved back from... It's so funny you asked me this. I was thinking about this in the car today.
Look at how we aligned.
Talking to my little brother. Oh my God. I was dating this guy and I was like really broke. And like I met him on like this like app. We started dating and I didn't know like he was wealthy until like I met him. It's like I went to his house. I had like this beautiful penthouse downtown. overlooked the whole city. Very nice. I used to like collect like very like rare art. So it's really nice. And I don't know, I just wasn't into it.
Right.
I'm very picky when it comes to dating. And I just felt, I don't know, I felt icky.
So you wanted a Splendor Daddy.
Yeah. I think he was just like too old because at the time I was 22, he was 60.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was quite a gap. He was
Right.
like a, you know, like, it was like, I don't know, like my dad acted younger than him. It was just
Right.
like, it wasn't that great. Yeah, so literally I like snuck out in the middle of the night. Like I waited till he was asleep. And like I like packed my things. Cause I remember like one night I was laying in the bed because we were in a full relationship.
That's a scene of a movie.
No,
Now you
like,
run
I'm
it.
telling you, this night is like in my memoir, it's gonna be like a movie. But literally, like we had dinner and like he like passed out and I was just staring at the ceiling and he lived on like the 30th floor and I was like, I literally just want to jump off this balcony. Like
so you ghosted him
I
literally.
was like, I want to get the fuck out of here. And I just hadn't had it with him at that point. And then I started dating like this hot trainer and I was just like, I don't want like, you know,
Right.
It was not fab.
Right.
And so literally I like slid out the bed, girl.
That is
the bed,
so funny.
packed my little bag, and I texted my grandmother. Mind you, this was like 2 a.m. My grandma's like a ride or die. And I was like, I need you to pick me up from the train station in like 30 minutes.
She was up.
My grandma's always up.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna stay up. And then her and my aunt were up together.
And they both came.
They probably were like drinking, Crown Royal and playing cards. Like,
I love that.
You know,
I love
smoking
that.
Virginia Slims. And I called my grandma. I was like, I need you to pick me up in like 30 minutes. She didn't ask me any questions. She never does. And I packed my bag and literally I'm halfway out the door and he like grabs me. Grabs me. And he was like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, I have to go. Like, I can't stay here. Like, I have to go. And he was like, it's 2:00 in the morning. Like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, I have to go. So we're like, pulling and tugging in the doorway. And I just like snatched my shit and like ran off to the elevator and just like never saw him again.
Wow.
Never
Yeah.
saw him
Okay. So
again.
we can't recruit him again.
Yeah. And then we reconnected.
Yeah.
It was like, no. He tried to get me to quit esthetician school.
No.
Yeah.
We need a supportive, system over here.
Yeah.
Well, listen, that is so hilarious, and I do hope that you find one that's more aligned to
I
current
don't want
Sean.
a sugar daddy. I want my own money. But I think what I'm looking forward to is kind of creating my own legacy again.
You need an
And
investor.
I need an investor to like do things that I want to do. I think the biggest, like lesson I can like teach young people or like people that like estheticians want to start their own business is that it takes a lot of willpower, but it also takes like a lot of capital to do like these things, to like create content. I have a assistant, a videographer, a photographer, I have an accountant, I have a CPA, I have a business manager, I have a lawyer, I have 2 agents. Like it's a lot of money revolving around a lot of people to make everything come together. And building a brand and building a business, it takes capital. So like you have to be smart with your money, which I'm not always smart. And you learn lessons. I've lost money, I've gained a lot of money. So it's just a lot of things. Just, if I married a wealthy person, it would be a lot easier.
Well, it's gonna happen.
I hope so. But hopefully I'm the wealthy person someone's married.
So tell us how to find you on all platforms. If you don't know, now you know.
You can find me at Beyonce.com. You can find me at Sean Garrett, SeanGarrr, 2 T's, an E at the end, on TikTok, Instagram, X, Twitter, everything.
And of course, you guys already know that we have secret episodes for the life of a makeup artist. So you can look in the show notes to find out how to get them sent directly to your inbox. And of course, you can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And we will see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.
Bye.